Texas Motor Speedway is the self-proclaimed great American racetrack, and nearly 200,000 fans this weekend are in for a great race. It's another one of those mile-and-a-half ovals where drivers approach 200 miles an hour getting into the corners. But with 3 races left in the season, time is running out on those chasing for the championship and those just looking for a good end to this season. Right now, Jeff Burton is running 8th in Nextel Cup points, and he's the last guy to win at this speedway. And there'd be no better end than to complete a season sweep of the Texas Motor Speedway. The Texas Motor Speedway has a relatively short history of 13 NASCAR Nextel Cup races. They've been won by 12 different drivers. Driver number 31, Jeff Burton, is the only guy to win twice. But it's been a difficult stretch for Burton. Bad luck in the chase has taken him out of championship contention, but he's the last driver to win here at Texas, and a season sweep would make for a great end to the season. He's one of the sport's elder statesmen now, but after a return trip to the championship chase, you can expect to see Jeff Burton in the hunt for many years to come.
Sailing down the backstretch, first-time pole sitter Martin Truex wants to lead the first lap. Jeff Gordon has already dropped a spot back to 3rd.
And you see some of the cars moving to the top of the racetrack already. The track is a little bit dirty up there. Nobody's run on it yet. These are the first few laps. The drivers need to be careful right now. Get that top dusted off.
See, Jeff Gordon's struggling still here on the top side of turn 2. He struggled in practice yesterday, and it looks like the car's not quite where he wants it, at least in these early laps.
He was 31st quickest in practice yesterday. He's concerned about this car a little bit. He's talked to his teammates. They put an alternate setup in it. They feel like they're ready, but it's yet to be seen.
Rusty said you could hear the concern in Gordon's voice during that final happy hour session. He said the car was loose, and suddenly tight in the corner. Very concerned. 24 dropping back. Let's check in his pitch with Alan Bestwick.
When I talked with his crew chief, Steve Letarte, in the garage this morning, Doc, he wasn't that concerned. He said he and Jeff had to make an appearance together last night. They spent 15 minutes in the back of a car getting there, and in that time decided on the changes they'd make to that car to go from the end of practice yesterday to the start of the race today. They were only a few. They felt like the conditions would come to them as the race went on. We'll see if that turns out to be the case.
Now we see A.J. Allmendinger on top of the racetrack now with an obvious problem in his car. And what a tough deal for him. He qualified great for this race.
Stay up there. You got a long lineup coming.
He may have brushed the wall coming off the corner here.
Got to be ready.
Whoa! His teammate Vickers almost gets it out of shape and gets right into the other car. He gathers it back up. Allmendinger obviously slowing down.
You got about 10 more coming.
See, he's already struggling here. He's got looks like he may have a problem. Denny Hamlin gets into the back of him. Man, he hit the wall pretty good right there.
Oh, yeah, Denny got in the back of him, turned him sideways, and he couldn't hold on to it and got in it. But you're right, Andy. It looked like there was already a problem with his car early in this event.
Yeah, they were battling for 4th position because Allmendinger had qualified 5th. Here are the 2 championship contenders. Jeff Gordon left of your screen, Jimmy Johnson right. They are currently being shown in 5th and 6th spot.
And guys, can you believe it? These two can't shake each other at all. Everywhere we go, they're bumper to bumper. A lot of people are saying, are they going to race each other today? I don't think so. I believe they're going to be aware where each other's at, but man, they got to race this track, Andy, and the rest of these competitors.
So it looked like Jeff Gordon was struggling pretty good in the beginning, but it stabilized a little bit right here. Looks like his car's kind of come in. Track's getting a little slicker. These tires get a few laps on them, and looks like he may be okay. We heard Steve Letarte say that they hoped the track would come to them, and maybe that's what's going to happen here.
Here's the 42 car, Juan Pablo Montoya, who won at Infineon early in the year, leading in the Rookie of the Year standings. And he will be leading the race as he comes out of the turn here, turn 2, and just sails by Martin Truex in the 1 car.
Man, he's got this baby hooked up now. I was down there in the garage this morning talking to some guys, some crew chiefs, and the consensus was this 1 car was going to drive off in the sunset on this first run. But boy, Montoya's not letting this happen at all. He's got his car hooked up.
No, not at all. This Chip Ganassi Felix about his racing team, I mean, they're getting stronger and stronger. And yesterday, the other teammate, Reed Sorensen, was third quick in practice. I talked to Montoya. He said, this is the car, Rusty, that I had in Indianapolis that ran so well for me. So I really like this car.
Martin Truex hung in the bottom of the racetrack, but no, now back in second spot. Jamie?
Well, Doc, this is his 79th start for Martin Truex Jr. And when he started this race on the pole for the first time, his crew chief Kevin Magnon said, this is the first time we're ever starting in the front. He said, be ready, we're going to make some crazy calls and set the world on its end. Hey, they have nothing to lose. They're 12th in the points, so we're going to watch Martin Truex Jr. Alan?
And I talked to the new leader, Juan Pablo Montoya, just before the start of this race. Juan Pablo did not know really how his car was at the end of practice yesterday. He said, we didn't put the fast lap on the board like other guys. I felt like it was okay, but I'm not really sure. I guess we're going to find out. Well, I guess we just found out.
Good race car left to screen Montoya, and here's the points battle. Here are the teammates. As the 48 of Jimmy Johnson trying to go by Jeff Gordon on the racetrack and in the point standings.
Jerry, it doesn't look like his car is in too bad a shape. He's got a lot of racing here left in front of him, a lot of time than just. And Andy, this car is a lot better than we anticipated it was going to be in practice. In practice, he was in big-time trouble. The car doesn't look too bad right now.
But you got to know that this team is so good and so much depth in it that they're not going to, even though they have a bad practice, doesn't mean they're going to race bad, and they're showing that right now.
You got to wonder, Jimmy Johnson was the fastest car in happy hour. We've already mentioned that Jeff Gordon was 31st. Do you think they work together as far as trying to help the 24 out, even though they're running against each other in points?
Absolutely, Doc. These guys get together probably after every single session and compare notes. Even though their driving styles are different, I know that these guys are talking to each other and they're going to get this thing right. And Chad Canals cares if this 24 runs good. He wants it to run good. They want to race this thing out on the racetrack.
What about a former Indianapolis 500 winner and Formula One winner, Juan Pablo Montoya? Green flag waving here, and Jeff Gordon will get the 5 bonus points for leading a lap. And folks, remember, he took only 2 right side tires, as did the 99 of Edwards and the 17 of Kenza. Guys, is that a good move to only take 2 rights for Gordon early on?
Well, it looks good right now. He got the 5 bonus points. He's out front. So we saw yesterday in the Busch race that this wasn't that good of a decision.
No, not at all. You saw Kyle Busch put 2 tires on his car yesterday and went to the back like a rock. Those 2 tires fell off awful quick.
Caution's out, turn 2.
Caution flag for the second time today. This is the 84 of Allmendinger, who had already been slowing. And he had been on and off a pit road.
Good. Right-sided it.
Yeah, his problems are continuing here because of the damage earlier. Probably cut a right front tire.
Yeah, that car was really tore up because of the first part of the race. He tore up a lot, so this probably caused a big problem. Let's take a look at his pit stop.
Now watch, they have a commitment cone at the top of the pit road there. See the 16 of Biffle trying to get around it, and apparently they've hit the cone. That will be a commitment cone violation by what we're being told is Biffle, Elliott, and Menard.
See, Greg Biffle just takes a left-hand turn, hits the 41 and the 43. Both of these cars get damage on the right front fender and have to spend some time on pit road. They were just victims here.
Man, I tell you, it just goes to show you guys, you got to be so doggone careful out there because this can happen to any one of them. The last minute, Greg Biffle tries to slide in and gets it.
And here's the reason for the caution flag this time. A.J. Allmendinger had that great qualifying effort, his best start of his career, 5th, and he had just brushed the wall on lap 2, and now he's hit it pretty hard and heads back to the garage area. Second caution flag of the afternoon. Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway. Under caution for the 4th time today. Many of the cars came onto pit road. The top 5 cars did not pit. Jeff Gordon, Juan Pablo Montoya, Kevin Harvick, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and J.J. Yaley stayed on the racetrack. As the green flag waves, Gordon will lead him back down. Andy, you shook your head when you say Gordon did not come in. Why?
I think it's a bad call right there because he's still got the same left side tires he started the race on. These other guys, Kyle Busch, some of these guys behind just pitted. They got 4 tires, and then this last stop, the rest of the field got 4 tires. So he's got the worst tires in the field right now.
Well, Andy, I got to agree with you. I don't think that was a good call, not putting 4 tires on. I believe this car looked awful tight to me. It looks like he could run for 4 or 5 laps, and then the front end would take off on him. He was falling backwards. I was just getting ready to say before the crash happened, he was running 4/10 of a second slower than the top 3 guys. So you have to be seeing what's going to happen with him.
This 5 car right here has got 4 tires that he got, back on lap 31 when we had that yellow. He's got good tires, better tires than the 42 and a lot better tires than the 24.
This is third and fourth position. Looking back from Kevin Harvick, who's in second spot. As you see Kyle Busch going by, taking the third spot away. Harvick has not led today. He would like to get up there and catch Jeff Gordon and get those 5 bonus points for leading a lap. And how about the 8 car? Dale Earnhardt Jr. now moving in. He's in the 5th spot, moving in on Montoya for 4.
Man, he was really happy with his car yesterday in practice, Dale Jr. was. He said, I can work the bottom of the track, the middle of the track, the top. Although he's our inter-race reporter, and he told us he's got to be a little careful off the corners and be very cautious running that high lane like he's used to running.
41 of 334 laps in the books. Jeff Gordon did not pit. His last pit stop was on lap 17. Folks, let's listen into the radio.
Cautions are saving us because we're pretty decent for a couple laps. It just gets way too tight, right? All on throttle. Yeah, down there 3 and 4, it's before I pick up the throttle. Down here 1 and 2 seems like it turns pretty good for me until I pick up the throttle.
And that was the discussion under the caution flag just a moment ago between Jeff Gordon and his crew chief, Steve Letarte. Now, Jeff Gordon got track position. He's leading. He's in clean air. Jimmy Johnson, meanwhile, got 4 tires. He's way back in 27th position. And a lot more in the danger zone right now if something should happen on the racetrack. That Steve Letarte tells me it's going to be track position all day for their strategy.
Well, you can't beat track position, that's for sure, as long as your car's handling good. So Jeff Gordon's looking good in a moment, but that change of not putting anything on, not changing anything at all, Andy, that still got me concerned.
Well, the other thing he's got to worry about is if this thing stays green, he's going to have to pit for fuel a lot sooner than the rest of these guys.
Well, that is a major concern right there. When you're out there in a racetrack and you've got to pit for fuel and they're going, you're going to go laps down, and that's a tough one.
Back that's Casey Mears, who pitted, the 9 car back there as well. Casey Kane. J.J. Yeagley, one of the cars that did not come on the pit road. Remember back in the spring, guys, when Jimmy Johnson was caught in an accident early on because he was back in traffic and ended up getting a 38th place finish? That's what Alan Bessick was alluding to, is that Jimmy Johnson right now is mired back in 25th position. Meanwhile, up front, Kyle Busch. You talked about the 4 fresh tires the 5 car has. He's gone by the 29 and now sets his sights on his teammate Jeff Gordon.
I'm still real surprised that this 24 car is able to stay out in front of these guys with the tires he's got. This 5 car's got 4 brand new tires, about 15 laps newer. I'm surprised that Gordon's able to hold this lead.
More on Kevin Harvick. Let's check in with Mike Massaro.
You know, Doc, I spoke with Harvick's crew chief Todd Barrier this morning. He says whenever they come to a mile-and-a-half racetrack, they're always a little bit leery, but this weekend they have reason for optimism. We'll get to that in a minute, but there's a battle for the lead shaping up right now as Kyle Busch sweeps by Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, not much of a battle at all because Gordon couldn't do much. Kyle Busch just went flying, went sailing right by.
Well, he was really screaming. Now, take a look at Kevin Harvick on top of the racetrack right there. That was our winner yesterday in the Busch Series event. And Mike, he looked really good yesterday.
And that's pretty much what I talked to Todd Barrier about. That's the reason they're so optimistic. Todd told me any time that Kevin runs well in a Busch car, it seems to really translate to his Cup car. He even looked historically into his record book. He said when he won the 2001 and 2006 Busch Series championships, those were his best years in the Cup cars, and statistically that's true. Those are the only 2 years he had multiple Nextel Cup wins. Now, as you alluded to, he won yesterday. He's looking for the weekend sweep. If he picks up the weekend sweep, that'll be the 5th time in his career he's done that. That would be a new NASCAR record.
Kevin Harvick's 6th Busch win of the season yesterday, 32nd career win, which is a landmark for him. It puts him 2nd all-time in Busch career wins, NASCAR Busch Series career wins, behind only Mark Martin.
Well, right now those 4 tires for Kyle Busch are really working. He's just flat sailing out there. About 0.3 of a second faster at the moment than Jeff Gordon. And really, Kevin Harvick's only about 1/10 of a second faster. It's probably a matter of time before he finally does get around Gordon.
Looks like they got this 5 car fixed up pretty good. He tagged the wall a little bit in practice yesterday, and the guys had to work on it and kind of straighten it back out, but they've got it fixed pretty good, looks like.
Yeah, I walked past her yesterday, Andy. They had the spindles off it. They were beating the fenders out. And Dave, that was a tore-up car yesterday.
The 5 car right now of Kyle Busch, Rusty, leading this race, and after yesterday finishing 2nd, I had a chance to check in with crew chief Alan Gustafson this morning. Said after the race yesterday, I had a good 20-minute debrief with Kyle. We had a contentious day. We didn't win the race, but we reasoned that we had a good race car today, and we worked on how to make it better for today, both communication-wise and mechanically. And so far, they're doing well, now leading this race.
left side of your screen, Jimmy Johnson going by the 07 of Clint Boyer. And here goes the 29 of Harvick by the 24 of Jeff Gordon. Harvick, we talking about, you just heard a moment ago how when he has a good day in the Busch car, he has a really good day in the Cup car the next day. That might be working for him because he won yesterday and now running second today. Here's Jimmy Johnson continuing his march back toward the front. 48 car now going by Tony Raines to take away the 20th position. And Boyer, by the way, how good is Clint Boyer? Hanging right there in third spot. And folks, with the right things happening Boyer's way today, he could leave here as the points leader.
Well, Jerry, he's doing the same thing he's done all year long. He's consistent. He's working on his car every practice session, every pit stop, and right now the car looks good. Johnson's a little bit quicker than him right now, but Boyer's doing what he's got to do, just hanging in there at the moment.
Seems like that's what Boyer's done all year, and in this chase especially. He's just hanging right in there. And these guys have been good.
Kyle Busch setting sail in the 5 car. We knew the Hendrick cars would be good. We thought it'd be 48 and 24, but here's the 5 car at the front of the field as he was late a week ago at Atlanta, but it didn't work his way. Maybe he's going to make up for it today here. Kyle Busch hanging on to the lead here at Texas Motor Speedway. Lap 100 of 334. 234 laps to go. Along Andy Petrie and Rusty Wallace, I'm Jerry Punch. Glad to have you with us. And Kyle just trying to hang on. He's made pit stops. That's Ricky Rudd back there behind him. Ricky making his final start in his illustrious 32-year career. His 904th career NASCAR Nextel Cup start. Ricky will call it quits when the 2000 season is over.
Man, take a look at that 8 car right dead against the wall again. Andy, there's no room for error where he's running, but he is running fast where he's running. He's in second right now and picking up on the leader.
I think there's a lot to be gained by running that high line, especially if you got the car set up for it. You carry all that momentum. It is risky, but hey, man, he just wants to win a race.
Well, I agree with you. Alan.
You know, there's a lot of pressure on this race team to get a win before this season's out, Rusty, and it's pressure they're putting on themselves. Tony Gibson, the crew chief, told me this morning that they, you know, you've heard Junior talk about it a lot, but he said, we really want to get him to victory lane before he leaves DEI. This team is all behind him. We all support him. We're sorry to see him go, but we really want to win one more time together. We're putting a lot of pressure on ourselves to make that happen. He said, I hope we don't put too much pressure on ourselves, and because, you know, sometimes that pressure leads to mistakes.
And Alan Dale Earnhardt Jr. has won at least one race in each of his first 7 seasons in NASCAR Nextel Cup. And folks, he's got 3 chances to keep that streak alive. Whoa! And that was a close chance to keep the car going. Let me get my heart started again. Here's he hangs on as Bobby Labonte goes by. Well, what a job up high.
Let's take a look at this one more time. I got to see this one more time. That was one big wiggle there on the bottom of the track, going up to the wall. Now let's see what happens. Boy, he starts getting loose before he even got up there. Whoa, that right rear quarter almost got that wall.
Well,
Good save.
You're talking about how risky it is up top. He was on the bottom of the racetrack right there.
Yeah,
I think if I'm him, I'm going back up top.
I got a feeling he was heading to the top, wasn't he, when that happened? So tough to you, Alan.
Well, that whole problem started because Junior's struggling with front end grip in the center of turns 3 and 4. He said the car started off with the back end being a little out of control, but now it's the front end grip in 3 and 4 that he's fighting, and that was probably that slide up off that corner that started him out of control toward that wall, and when things started to go a little crazy there a second ago, huh, Rusty?
Well, he'll be aware of how much room he's got right now and how his car's handling. You see he's right to the bottom of the track again now. Looks like he's a little nervous to go up the top of the track at the moment. Gonna have to rebuild his confidence right now.
Guys, guess what? Here come the teammates together again. It should be a song, 24 and 48. Hendrick Motorsports teammates, Jimmy Johnson now trying to go by Jeff Gordon. That would be for 7th position. And right now, Johnson is 18 points behind Gordon in the standings.
There again, what you're seeing right here is the difference in their tires. The 48 car's got about 20 less laps on his tires than the 48. And you're going to see this 24 car slip back as this run goes on. And then when they make that pit stop, he can make up that ground, make it back up again. But it's just going to be a seesaw thing until these guys get back in sync.
Well, I guarantee you, Jeff Gordon's thinking right now, I wish the caution flag would come out so we get these things back in sync. We can get some fresh tires.
I mean, I'm pushing, but the back end ain't worth a darn.
So he's talking about the front end pushing, the front end sliding, but the back of the cars is not holding on too good either.
24 car slipping and sliding a little bit. The 48 car setting sail now. He is gone or trying to move in, gone by the 29.
It's to the corner better than it was, but the front end's still not far off of what it was before.
as he goes by Kevin Harvick. Let's check in Jimmy Johnson's pit with Jamie.
And what a hustle back he's done. You know, they took those 4 tires early on and lost a lot of track position, but he's back up to 7th right now, and he's not real comfortable with the way the car's handling. Chad Canals came on the radio and told Jimmy, try a little front brake if it'll help the car settle down a little. Rusty, what good would that do to the car right now?
Well, I mean, that's bad news. I think if you're going to start adjusting your brakes, I mean, this is a track where you don't use hardly any brake whatsoever. But obviously the guys are using more than they're used to, because as Andy Petrie showed, I mean, we're getting a lot of brake dust, Andy, on these cars right now. So these guys are really struggling with these brakes.
If you look at these lap times on the board, their fastest lap to their current laps, there's about 2 seconds difference in this fall off. And I think these guys just have to, as the run goes on, they have to slow the car down so much more that they're using a ton of brake.
Jimmy Johnson won this Cup title a year ago, but it was an intense pursuit for Jimmy. A lot of stress, a lot of pressure on him. We asked Jimmy about the difference this year, about maybe being just a little bit more relaxed.
The hunger and desire is there to be a champion again. My work ethic and commitment is still the same, but I'm not losing sleep at night. I'm well rested, I'm enjoying life, and I think I'm operating from a better place than the frustrated, pressure-packed situation I was in last year. So I feel I'm a better race car driver today, a more mature driver, and more of a threat for championships and race wins than I've ever been in my career.
Man, with 8 victories, I guess he is sleeping good.
Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson dominant here in NASCAR Nextel Cup. Look, since 2002, Jimmy Johnson 31 wins, 1 Cup title, trying to get the 2nd one. By the way, Jeff Gordon trying to get number 5.
Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway. Jimmy Johnson is in his pit box. 4 tires, no changes. They're just warning him, hey, it's going to tighten up because that sun is going down. The entire track is almost shaded. He's down and away for that green flag pit stop. Let's go to Mike Massaro.
And Matt Kenseth's still a little bit tight. They'll go down one half turn on the left rear wedge. 4 tire change in fuel for Matt Kenseth. He's away. Let's go to Jamie.
And Martin Truex Jr. in, as I reported just a little bit ago, he said his car is not to his liking. It wasn't as nice as what he said, actually. They're going to take 4 tires. He scraped the wall just a little bit. They were going to check for damage. He's down and away. Dave?
Kyle Busch gave up the lead earlier under green. It worked out for them. It cycled around. He's doing the same thing here. This time, car tight. Turns 1 and 2, especially 4 tire change, air pressure adjustment. Mike?
And Kevin Harvick still trying to get that car right. He's described it as terrible all day long. Another air pressure adjustment on that car. 4 tire change in fuel on the 29.
Harvick coming down pit road. Tony Stewart still in getting service and getting 4 tires. He is now down and away. You see him leaving. Jeff Gordon entering pit road, coming down that 45 miles an hour to make what should be his scheduled stop. They still have to make at least 2 more stops, maybe even 3. Let's get on to the 2 pit and Jamie.
And Kurt Busch rallied back from that flat tire. He's in his pit box. Crew chief Pat Tryson said, hey, we have a long way to go. We'll be fine. He's right. They worked his way up. 4 tires. And let's go to Allen.
And a big turn on the wedge bolt for Jeff Gordon's crew as they make a 4 tire change here, trying to help him with that right side grip that he said is lacking on this car. Dave?
Clint Boyer now hits pit road, 45 mile an hour speed limit, hits his pit box, 4 tire change for him. He's been complaining also that that car will not turn. You see the wrench going in the back window. That'll be a wedge adjustment, just a small one for Clint at this point. Guys moving around on the left-hand side now, getting it full of fuel. Remember, these runs have been very long today. Want to make sure every drop's in there, and now he's gone.
0-7, Clint Boyer going down. You're going to hear a lot of guys, I guess, Andy, talking about these cars not turning as the track's cooling off and those shadows are coming across.
Yeah, you're going to be hearing a whole lot more of that. And you got Ricky Rudd out here leading the race after all these guys pitted.
Yeah, how about Ricky Rudd in his final year of his illustrious 32-year career? The 88 car for Rudd. Rudd making his 904th career start. His best finish 4th year back in the spring of 2002 when he led 29 laps. Kevin Harvick now going by. You heard him talking about how bad Harvick's car has been handling today. Considering how bad the car has been, he has done a heck of a job to keep this car in the top 15.
You know, Yeah, the rest of them, I got fresher tires, but Ricky Rudd's been out for a long time, and Andy, his lap times are awful good. I mean, that last time by, in fact, this time by also. So he's right there in the hunt for speed.
He's got a good long-run car, but it seems like these guys get new tires, they can drive away from him pretty good. And he's not had any track position unless they do this pit cycle like we're seeing here.
Lap 194 of 334. And what's going on down here in the pits, guys?
Well, you see him putting, it looks like they're going to add a wheel spacer to the left rear. The only reason I could think maybe they're doing this is because they could have let the left rear wheel loose, and that kind of messes up the threads, dulls the threads in that area, so that maybe they put this spacer on there, put the wheel out on some better threads so the wheel will tighten up.
Yeah, that's happened a lot. If you get a loose wheel, it'll wobble, and it'll actually tear the threads up real bad. And Andy, that was a great catch, because I never thought of that one, but yeah, that was, they bring it out, that'll definitely fix their problem.
Yeah, Ricky Coleman, the rear tire carrier out of Orlando, giving us our crew cam shots of the repairs being made on Greg Biffle's car.
But the good news is they got it fixed. The bad news is they're 3 laps down now. It'll take a while to change that.
Ricky Rudd is the leader at Texas Motor Speedway. Here's the 42 car, who is down a cylinder, running on 7 cylinders. AB?
Yeah, called that in on the radio just a little while ago, Doc, and it's going to be a long struggle for this second half of the race at this high-speed place if you're only operating on 7 under the hood.
Juan Pablo Montoya, who took off and led 10 laps early in the afternoon, now just trying to hang on 7 cylinders here for the final 138 laps.
Boy, the Ganassi team's having a struggle today. They've all had fast cars. The 41 car of Reed Sorensen, the 42 car, and the 40, all of them running good. 2 of them have crashed. Not one of them's lost a motor, so a tough deal.
137 laps to go, and Ricky Rudd is our leader. Rudd's best finish this year is 7th at Charlotte back in May. 45 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway. Lights are on and laps are ticking down. How balanced does the car have to be to run this well here at a 1.5 mile racetrack? Well, let's show you what happens here in terms of balance, downforce, and clean air on the 5 car.
Guys, our draft trackers really showed a lot of aerodynamic changes this year to help educate the viewers, but this right here is showing us total downforce on the front and total downforce on the back. And when this car gets around different cars and you pull up behind, you'll see the green on the front go completely away. And if there's a car gets up behind this car, you'll see the green on the back go completely away. So later on, we'll try to find one of those instances and show you. But it really does affect the way the car's handled out here to track this fast. Andy, speeds of over 200 miles an hour going at the corner. Aerodynamics is huge, man.
Yeah, and you want that car to be balanced too, and that's what that's showing you right there. Was there was an equal distribution of downforce, and when these guys get together and get cars in front and behind, it changes that, and that's why this clean air is so important.
Got to have downforce, but you need to have something else today and tonight. I think it's called fuel, right, Jamie?
That's right. Doc, and Jack Canals decided he didn't want to wait 30 laps to find out if they're going to be short or not, or what their situation is. So he just radioed in after he talked to his little math wizards down here in the pit box, and this is what he told his driver, Jimmy Johnson.
All right, but I need to start backing off just a little bit, saving me some fuel. Need to save me about 3 laps total.
And Jack Canals waiting for caution flag, desperately telling his driver, who just avoided somebody on the track, guys. I believe that's the 78, just avoided him. So keeping his eyes open and hopefully going to conserve enough fuel to make it to the end.
Jamie, still no caution flag. A caution would be a huge help to Jimmy Johnson. This is Joe Nemechek, by the way, who they announced this week has just signed a 3-year contract with this team, Furniture Road Racing. Hoping to go to a 2-car team in 2008. He scrapes the wall, but is able to make it down on the inside to pit road. And we will stay green here with 41 laps to go.
And you must wonder if there's debris off of turn 2 because of this scraped wall. I mean, when you hit them, I mean, usually something flies off the car. A lot of body filler, Bondo, things like that, Andy, that these teams use to paint these cars and under the paint job. And so that could have happened. So we have to take a look at this.
Watch what's happening.
Yeah, you see this right here. This graphic is showing how Jimmy's floating the car down in the corner. That's what I'd be telling my driver. Let's save a little fuel, back off a little bit early, don't hit the brakes quite as hard. Those brakes just use up fuel, and you know, that might get them those 3 laps they're looking for.
You know, right before we were looking at the picture, I was looking at the tailpipes on the 48 car of Jimmy Johnson. You saw the flames coming out of the car as he was getting out of the throttle. I'll try to show you that shortly here. but it really shows how early he's getting out of the throttle. He's coasting for a long time. Out of the throttle, out of the throttle. Then he picks the throttle up very, very easy. Nothing abruptly. And that really saves a lot of fuel. Now, he's got to save 3 laps, so he's got to keep doing this.
While you watch this,
see the flames coming out of the right rear there. And he's out now back into it, Jerry.
Fuel is critical for Jimmy Johnson. And by the way, the 11 car, another one of the chase contenders, Denny Hamlin, has gone to the garage area. He's made the hard left-hand turn. He was a leader. And despite a lot of damage on the front of this 2 car, Kurt Busch is setting sail. He is coming in a hurry.
Well, they fixed it. You know, they got that hood beat back down and got this all sealed back up. Buddy, he's driving the wheels off this thing. He's coming up. He's running the fastest laps on the racetrack right now.
So Kyle Busch the leader, Jimmy Johnson in second, Kenseth. In this car you just saw Kurt Busch a moment ago, Truex, Newman, Jeff Burton, Kevin Harvick, Tony Stewart, and there is Jeff Gordon back in 10th position as he has gone by Tony Stewart to take the 9th spot away. Back up front, Kyle Busch is our leader, and more on fuel today.
He is laying down the lap stock, but maybe at just a slightly slower pace. He was asked to save fuel by his crew chief, Alan Gustafson. He, of course, asked, can we make it to the end? And Gustafson said 334, but this is going to change everything. Biffle crashing.
Greg Biffle brings out caution.
Great report, Dave. It just all changed right here.
It's on fire.
Well, they got a big fire underneath the 16 car, Greg Biffle, right now. Let's see how big that thing gets. He might have to get out of that car before he gets it back to pit road.
Okay, guys, we got 36 laps to go, and Jeff Gordon's sitting back there at 9th spot. If he wants to get a good finish, he might need to try to roll the dice right here and maybe take 2 tires.
What would you do?
I think I would take 2 in this spot and just see what he can do.
Here's a 16 car of Biffle bringing out caution for the 12th time.
Just get out. Get out.
I think you see the inside is full of smoke, and he's got to get out in a hurry.
He's got an oil cooler ruptured or an oil line, and if he keeps driving the thing, he keeps pumping it out on the header.
Yeah, but he's breathing that stuff right now, guys. He's got to get out of there to get some fresh air to himself, or else he's gonna, you know, it could hurt him bad.
Yeah, smoke inhalation. They're trying to help him get out, get unhooked.
And they're saying get the side window out, knock it out, so some of this air. This is the window on the right-hand side that he's trying to get out, and that would really help. Ventilate some of this air out of this car. So Greg's out. Good news.
Show you the contact here that brought out the caution for Greg Biffle here on lap 298.
Same deal as before here. He just gets a little bit sideways, loses the thing.
Yeah, this is the second time this car, just like you said, gets out from underneath them right there. And he's trying to run so high, and the car just doesn't have the grip.
Ryan Vickers coming by. That was the contact on the hood, and there's the fire that erupts. You're talking about the oil cooler, the fire that erupts in the front of the car and underneath where the driver is sitting.
Yeah, and as long as that engine's spinning over, this is pumping oil out on the headers, and it just makes an intense fire, as you see here. Finally just told him to stop the car. Maybe the fire will go out and he can just jump out of it.
And Andy, you need the spotter to help you because you have no vision. You can't see out of the front of that car. And that's a good job, the spotter, to get out of the car, stop it. Just stop it there. I mean,
because the driver can't see that flame.
Cannot see that flame. And I had a big blow up in Michigan one year, big fire. And I had to rely on the spotter to tell me where to stop and where to turn the car to get out.
Can he hold on? He did not only took the lead, it looked like he'd been shot out of a cannon when he went by. And Charlotte, here he goes, restart. It'll be 29 laps to go as they take off into turn 1. Newman trying to hold off Kenseth, McMurray, Truex, and Jimmy Johnson in 5th position.
Boy, and Matt Kent has got a big run on the top of the racetrack, and those fresh tires, and look at that, goes right alongside of Newman.
Well, both of these guys have right sides only, but the 17 car's been the best car.
And he's got that momentum. That top lane of the racetrack is the preferred line around here at Texas Motor Speedway. And Matt Kent uses that to his advantage and pulls away right now from Ryan Newman.
He figured out a little trick on these restarts, how he could run wide open through 1 and 2 on that first lap, and it just kind of snuck up on these guys and caught them by surprise.
Well, he's done it once now. Now he's got the confidence that he can do it again, and you're exactly right. And he did it again just now, and it paid off for him.
99 car of Edwards is the lap car, as is the 9 car of Casey Kane. Kane back in 18th spot. Here's the 1 and 26, the Truex and McMurray cars. They are battling for 3rd position. Truex just takes it away.
Yeah, this 1 car is the first car that has 4 tires. The 48 car also got 4 tires, so these guys are going to try to run these guys down with these 2 tires. It's going to be interesting to see if they can do it.
Boy, Martin Truex has got to be feeling great right now, knowing the rest of the guys have got the 2 and he's got 4, Andy. I mean, that is a great feeling for a driver. But can he get past the traffic? And will the clean, dirty air versus the clean air hurt him?
We're going to see. Matt Kenseth just ran one of the fastest laps of his race, even on those just right side tires, 29 flat. That's a great lap. That's about 3/10 faster than the guys behind him.
Guys, a dirty air that the number 1 car Martin Truex is in right now. That's a bad thing, but when he's got 4 tires, that can make up some of the aerodynamic disadvantage that he's in right now. So he's got to take advantage of that and get it done now.
Got 26 laps to do it too, and I think if those 4 tires are going to help, it's going to take a little time to make this move. He's got 26 laps to do it, plenty of time.
Here's the 5 car, Kyle Busch. Remember, he was a leader, and that 15.8-second pit stop cost him a lot of positions. Now he is trying to reel them in. Busch has led by far the most laps today, 153 laps. So he's trying to get there, and as is the 2 car of Kurt Busch back in 7th position. Now make it 6th.
Boy, you got to hand up to Jamie McMurray. He's done a great job this afternoon. Larry Carter is crew chief. They've played everything perfect. Right now he's in the 7th position. Late in the race, 25 laps ago, he's positioned his car in a perfect time. Great job by Larry Carter.
The fastest car the last 2 laps has been this 48 car. You can see him now moving underneath the 1 car. Man, this guy just gets it done. When it's time to go, he knows how to do it.
Jimmy Johnson finished 38th here in April. A victim of an early incident, has never won at this racetrack. In fact, Jimmy Johnson has not won at any of the final 3 tracks, here, Phoenix or Homestead.
Guys, this is unbelievable. He wins Martinsville, he wins Atlanta, and now he's running 3rd, and he's mowing them down. 2/10 of a second faster this last time by.
The last 3 laps, he's the fastest car on the racetrack.
Look at how he closed on Newman, like Newman was just sitting still. Now where do you go?
But Jerry, you just go around him, because when you got that fresh tires and that car's that quick, you can almost put that car wherever you want right now. He's not going to stick behind him, that's for sure. He's going to go to the bottom or he's going to go to the top, because he doesn't have time to waste right now.
Welcome back to Fort Worth, Texas, Texas Motor Speedway, and we are setting up for a Texas-style shootout here in the final 18 laps. 17 car Matt Kenseth is the leader, but folks, Jimmy Johnson in the 48 car is a man on a mission.
Can you believe this? The 48 car, week after week of Jimmy Johnson running down Matt Kenseth right now with 17 laps to go. And Andy, look at the speeds. What are they? I mean, it's a mile and a half an hour faster than Kenseth at the moment.
He's been consistently outrunning Matt Kenseth 2/10 to a 1/10 and a half a lap. Looks like it's just a matter of time before he runs him down here.
What did he just say? Go get us some cowboy hats?
Yeah, that's what you get for winning here. You go to Victory Lane and put on the cowboy hat.
You get to go down and visit with Eddie Gossage and have all the cowboy hats on. They put a holster on you. It's a Texas race.
Not only that, it's the biggest purse of any of these chase races that these guys are going for.
Yeah, that's all I'd say right now, because the fat lady hasn't sung yet, man. You don't get too confident. And he is a chase contender. Don't do anything crazy. You don't want to get loose underneath. Matt Kenseth's trying to take the lead. And it looks like he's going to go to the bottom and try to get it done.
Can't say it enough. It was here a year ago that Jimmy Johnson finally took the lead in the chase standings for the first time in 2006, and he never looked back. He held on at Phoenix and Homestead to become the 2006 NASCAR Next L Cup champion. He came into the day 9 points behind his teammate Jeff Gordon, and right now he is 15 points ahead of Gordon in the standings.
It looks like Matt Kenseth learned something when he was racing that 11 car, because he was, working the top of that racetrack seemed to be an advantage for him. But, it's interesting to see how he'll do that with this 48 car. But the 24 car is moving up, too. He took 4 tires, and he started to pass some cars. Started 10th on the restart. Now he's 7th.
Yeah, Jeff Gordon up on the wheel. Remember what happened last week in Atlanta? Gordon started picking him off here late in the race. So don't give up on Jeff Gordon yet. Up in 7th in the points, and just a 15-point separation.
Now here's what I'm seeing though, guys. Matt Kenseth leading the race, and Jimmy Johnson's caught him. He's in the dirty air, and Andy's losing speed now. He's almost a 1/10 of a half second slower than Matt these last 2 laps.
Being outside, if you look side, you're silly. I don't want him outside of me, Bob.
And Kenseth's driving aggressive, and he's driving defensively also. He's taking his line away, and Jimmy just can't catch him now.
What Matt's saying, I think Matt wants to run the bottom to run fast laps, but he doesn't want that 48 on the outside of him. He said, Bob, don't let him on the outside of me.
Right now you saw the 48 just come off of turn 2 and really kick the back of the car out. He got loose that time. And look at the 17 pulling away in the center of the corner. So the dirty air is really playing a big effect on Jimmy Johnson right now.
Yeah, because Jimmy ran him down 2/10, a good solid 2/10 a lap, all the way till he got to the bumper. Now he's not even as fast as Matt Kenseth.
In fact, this last time by, the leader, Matt Kenseth, with a 30.66 to Jimmy Johnson's 30.80. So definitely slower. And Jimmy's going to have to get something done quick now, because he's going to tear his tires off this car trying to get around him. You see the car wiggling around now, exiting the corners.
I really think Matt Kenseth learned something while he was racing Denny Hamlin in that 11 car. That's going to pay off for him right here.
Boy, catching a guy's one thing, passing him's another. And aerodynamics is crazy, man. It just really affects these cars big time.
Okay, you got 10 laps to go, Rusty, and you're sitting here in Jimmy Johnson's spot. What are you doing? What are you going to try to do to get by him?
Right now, I'm going to the top of the racetrack. I'm going to try to build the momentum, Andy. As soon as, Kenseth gets loose.
10 laps to go this time by.
You can tell they're both trying to drive like it's a qualifying lap. If I was Jimmy Johnson, I'd go to the top, I'd get to his bumper, have the momentum, and try to dive underneath of him. Try to drag race him down the front straightaway and use that momentum exiting the corners as an advantage.
Okay, we talked about it early, maybe even in the pre-race show, Rusty. I think I heard you say, are these guys going to be racing each other, or are they going to be racing for wins? What do you think Jimmy Johnson's doing right now?
Well, I think he's racing for a win right now. He definitely knows where Jeff Gordon is, but he's not racing Jeff Gordon right now. He's racing Matt Kenseth, and he's doing a smart job.
10 laps to go. Matt Kenseth, 2003 Cup champion, trying to hold off the reigning Cup champion. And margin coming down just a slight amount there. Will traffic be a factor? They're going to move in on some other cars here in the next 3 to 4 laps.
Remember, Jeff Burton passed Matt Kenseth right at on the last lap of the race in the spring. And I know Matt probably learned something from that, too.
Yeah, he let Burton get on the inside, and I know Matt's probably driving as much. How much do you drive with your mirror, and how much do you drive with the windshield here now in these final laps?
Oh, you drive a lot with your mirror and a lot with your windshield. And right now, they're coming up on Casey Mears, a teammate of Jimmy Johnson. What's going to happen here, guys? Let's take a look at this. Let's see if this is going to be a factor. Looks like Casey's moving out of the way, letting him have a clean race and not getting in the way. I thought something might happen there.
Top of your screen in the chase. You see Kenseth is 424 points back, folks. He could win this race and be out of the chase because you got to be 390 or less when this race is over to be still in mathematical contention for the chase championship.
Got 2 tires on the 17 on the last pit stop, 4 tires on the 48.
And that is unreal. The 48's got better tires.
But the 17's got the clean air, got the lead.
And boy, we've had some controversy this year about it.
Here he comes. Here comes Jimmy Johnson on the bottom of the racetrack. Can he hang there? 17 Kenseth pulls him on the straightaway. Johnson's got 7 more laps to try it again. Here he comes out on the bottom of the track again.
Looks like he was just saving something for this last charge, and he's got something on him.
Can he hang on? Can he grip the track? He's got the fresh tires. Kenseth does it. Kenseth, a little nudge there on the right rear.
Kenseth just cannot give up right now, and Jimmy's committed to the bottom. He's going for it. If they get side by side too much, they could get real loose. They clear Montoya.
Jimmy Johnson cannot afford contact. He is right now the points leader.
Still there.
What a dogfight this is. I think this is really smart for Jimmy Johnson. He just laid back there just a little bit, cooled his jets a little, cooled his tires, made this run. He can just get going.
Oh, hanging on. 6 laps to go. 190,000 fans on their feet at Texas Motor Speedway.
This is 2 of the best in the business going at it right here.
And right now, Kenseth doesn't want to give up. He can smell victory at Texas Motor Speedway, the largest attendance, the largest purse besides the Brickyard 400 and the Daytona 500, a big purse.
It is mano-mano here, 101. 2 former Cup champions going at it. The 17 car of Matt Kenseth, the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. And here a moment ago was the contact. Watch the right rear wall. Watch the 17 car get out of shape.
Boy, there was almost contact there, Jerry. He got big time out of shape and stayed in the throttle, kept the momentum, and look at him outrunning Jimmy down the front straightaway. Guys, this thing isn't over. It looks like Jimmy's cooling his tires again and take another stab at
Is
him.
that something you'll do even this late in the race? Can you have that much discipline to say, okay, I'm going to sit here and cool these tires for a lap or so?
Guys, you know what? I never had that much discipline. I just couldn't do it. If I was right there, I kept digging. But Jimmy's done a great job. We saw him do it before.
Oh, maybe better off to finish second.
Second? If he's asking me that question, absolutely not.
I don't know why he would say that. Why would he say, am I better off to finish second?
I don't know what that means.
Here he comes again, making another run at him. 3 laps to go. Can he hold the bottom of the racetrack? Got to believe those 2 tires are going to take effect on the 17. Here comes Johnson.
Sliding off the corner.
Like they're dirt tracking at 190 miles an hour. Can Johnson hang there? Back in the throttle for 48, Jimmy Johnson.
He's just going to take it right here. He just squeezes Matt Kenseth. You can't quite get him clear.
Unbelievable. These guys are side by side, lap after lap. Johnson's got to be smart. He's got to be smart right here.
Kenseth trying to hang on. Johnson.
Still there, white flag this time by, still there, barely.
Oh, and Johnson clears him with 2 laps to go. Back in the spring, it was on the white flag that Matt Kenseth got past. Here it's 2 laps to go. Does Kenseth have anything to try to reel him back in?
Boy, it's going to be tough right now.
Oh, look at Chad Canals. Is he loving that pass or what? By the way, Jeff Gordon in 7th position.
Boy, I mean, right now, Jimmy Johnson's last lap, 0.4 of a second faster than Matt Kenseth. He's got that clean air, and now he's out.
You're never going to see it any better than that right there.
All I could have done was wreck him, Robbie, or wreck myself. Believe me, I couldn't do anything else.
Jimmy Johnson came here 9 points out of the lead. He came to a track where he had never won a Cup race. But Jimmy Johnson has driven the wheels off his Chevy, and he will win at Texas Motor Speedway.
Great job, Jimmy. Pit crew, you guys won this race. Pit crew, you guys did it. That fast pit stop, that's what did it. Jimmy, great driving there, buddy. Phenomenal job today, phenomenal. Well, thanks for giving me this opportunity. Woo!
Let the celebration begin. Let's go down to Jamie Little.
Well, the California kid is going to don a cowboy hat for the first time. Jimmy, take us through those last laps with Matt Kenseth. How surprised were you he was racing you as hard as he was despite having 2 new tires?
I knew it was going to be a battle to the end, and when it comes to winning these races, everybody's going to fight hard. So I expected a good fight. I didn't think his 2 tires would last that long or he would be that good. So, I'm just glad I was able to get by. There wasn't much time left to get it done, but this Lowe's, I guess I should say Cobalt Monte Carlo was awesome today. Wasn't the best at the start of the race, but we kept working on it and then went racing for it there at the end.
Jimmy, was this race 1 year ago? You took over the points lead, never looked back, and became champion for the first time. Is this any indication of a repeat?
I doubt it. I mean, it's so tough from year to year to have things repeat, but I do know that we're racing for the championship, and now we have control of it, I guess. So I'm just tickled to death. These guys have been working so hard in the 24 and 48 shop. So I mean, I just can't thank those guys enough, including the engine shop, chassis shop, everybody at Hendrick Motorsports to give us this opportunity week in and week out.
What a race, Matt. Talk about trying to beat Jimmy there at the end.
Well, gosh, I hate losing, but I made it as rough on him as I could. You know, I usually wouldn't make it that rough, but I know he's racing for a championship, and gosh, I was just doing everything I could to hold him off. So it was a great job by all these USG sheetrock guys. Got to thank them guys for coming on board this weekend. And overall, it was a great day. It just you hate getting beat. You know, I got that big lead, and you know, I can't believe all them guys got 4 tires. They just you know, they're really smart and they got everything going their way. They get 2 and they win. They get 4 and we get 2 and we still get beat. So just a good day for us.